Drink. Hello, everyone. Welcome. We're so glad to have you all here today. Welcome, everybody. We're giving it just a couple more minutes for everybody to come on in. We're so glad to be with you today. And it's just started snowing, so you're going to have a beautiful view while you're cooking these Mediterranean recipes. So glad to have you all here. Welcome, welcome. And we're honored to have Katie and George here too. So we'll introduce them in just a moment. Okay, and I'll just mute some folks. You'll be able to unmute if you have questions, but just to get started, I'll start us on mute. And then it will just take me one moment. I'm going to mute us and just get our second camera set up and we'll be ready to go, okay? Okay, everybody, welcome. We're so glad to have you all here. We have about 20 or so folks that will be joining us, maybe a couple that will watch the recording in just a minute. And so we're almost set to start. Okay, so I'll come right behind here with George and Katie. So welcome, everybody. We're so glad to have you all here today for another beautiful cooking class. I don't know if there's any of you in the who are watching who had taken Katie and George's first class, but that was about 4 or 5 years ago. And we were just talking about how Katie and George had done one of our first ever virtual cooking classes and meal kits right when it was during COVID era. And so we're so glad. Actually, a couple of weeks ago, I saw Katie and George, they had moved away and I was like, oh, you're back. You moved back. We're going to have to do a class again. So it's really wonderful to have you both here, Katie and George, and welcome everybody. I see a lot of familiar names. And also there's a few folks that have let me know that they're taking the class for the first time. So welcome. We're so glad to have you. We've been doing classes at Common Ground Food Co-op, I think since like the 70s actually, but this classroom space where you picked up your kit has been operating monthly with in-person classes. And then during COVID, we started virtual classes and they have been such a hit, allowed you to really do all the hands-on work. So we're so glad to be doing delicious few recipes, but just some housekeeping. We want this to be as interactive as possible. So if you have questions, I'll be monitoring the chat. And so you can ask Katie and George anything about their cooking or questions about the recipes, or you want to add to the commentary, please do. We definitely encourage that. You have your recipe cards with you. So if your oven is preheating faster and you're steps ahead, you go for it. And that's the magic of these classes, is being able to all make the same recipes at the same time. It's pretty special. And lastly, We're always looking for new instructors. So down the line, keep us posted if you want to share your family's recipes or cultural cuisines. But yeah, we're so excited to get started, and feel free to use the chat whenever, and I'll keep an eye on it. And then I'll be getting close-up footage of some of the more detailed processes. But welcome, Katie and George. Do you want to introduce yourself to everybody?
Thank you, Sarah. Hi, good morning, everyone. I am mic'd up here, so please let me know if you cannot hear me. My name is Katie Kritikos, and I'm here with my husband, George, who will also introduce himself, and we're really excited to share some of our favorite Mediterranean recipes with you to start the new year off with something easy, fun, tasty, and healthy. So thank you, Sarah, for the opportunity, and welcome, everyone. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, hi, George. I'm the Greek one, I'm usually the influence on a lot of these things, but over the past 11 years since we've been married, we love to do these things together. So it's always nice to be able to do this with other people, whether it's to bring people in our home and share it, or obviously in this case, be in other people's homes in a sense and be able to share it that way. So hopefully everyone enjoys it. And if we go fast, or if you can't hear us or miss a step or whatever it may be, just let us know. We're happy to kind of double back. We're not professional chefs, so we do our best.
We're both
the family recipes.
Yeah.
That's right.
We're both home cooks, and the first thing to keep in mind is that there's no right or wrong way to do this. This is to your taste and to what speaks to you. If you want more lemon, add more lemon. If you don't want to add pepper, don't add pepper. Cooking is an art, so have fun with it. So I guess what I'll say is we're going to start by making our chicken marinade. After we do that, we're going to work on some vegetables. And then after that, we're going to loop back to the chicken. So just to kind of give you an overview of how we're going to approach things. And like George said, if we are going too fast, just say so. We'll slow it down a little bit. But we have more than enough time to make these recipes in our class time today. It's going to be a lot of fun. So
yeah.
The first thing that we're going to start with are the chicken skewers with the pita bread, or the souvlakia, which is the Greek word for
shish kebab.
Shish kebab. So grab.
Is its own word.
We're going to prep the chicken and the marinade first. So go ahead, please, and grab your chicken, and then
There's a few people that have tofu.
And
Or
I'm so
tofu,
sorry,
right.
or your tofu.
Grab your protein.
Grab your protein.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sarah. And looking at your recipe here, our marinade has several ingredients, and we're going to prep those together. So the first thing I think that you should do is let's stir the marinade together first, and then we will either chop.
We'll cut up the
We'll cut up
chicken.
the chicken or the tofu,
Yep.
and then put it into the marinade. So
Yeah. Oh, I'm started. Okay, great. Well, why don't we just get the big bowl here?
yeah. So if you have
Yep. Go ahead.
a regular, just a medium-sized bowl, grab your lemon.
I'm sorry, I cut off the ends. I'm really weird about that. I don't know why, but
them
it's
see.
just, I always tend to cut them off because it's easier for me to then cut it in half. So just me being me. All right. So I need a bowl for the.
I know, but you don't want to block them.
Oh, sure.
What you're doing.
All right. So I will open my olive oil.
And how much?
And I'm just gonna put 2 tablespoons of that in, which this is me trying not to spill it. There's 1, 2, nice and quick.
4 tablespoons.
Oh, 4 tablespoons. No, it's 2 for the. It's 2 for the.
Okay, I beg
Yep.
your pardon.
So 2 tablespoons of olive oil.
Yep.
Into a bowl, and then
Yep.
we're squeezing one.
We're squeezing 1 lemon. Yeah, 1 full lemon in. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
There you go, and then 1 full lemon.
So have you made this chicken souvlakia a lot?
Oh yeah, so in the summer, obviously, like use the grill and do the skewers and kind of do it that way. But it's the winter now, and I prefer not to stand outside in the cold and the wintry mix that we're having today. So that tends to be why we do it this way. Where we'll use like a cast iron pan or some other grill pan in order to kind of make it a little bit simpler.
And we didn't give you the skewers, but we'll just be doing it into the pan.
Yeah, correct.
This is a deconstructed shish kebab.
Yeah.
So after that lemon juice, we can work in some of our herbs and spices. So you need to do a teaspoon of your paprika. No, that's fine.
Okay.
And then after your paprika, you can also add a tablespoon of your dried oregano. So here's our oregano.
I'll read it.
I don't know if we had paprika.
No, it's okay.
Sorry, folks, we didn't give you the paprika, but we're gonna put in the 1 tablespoon dried oregano, 1 tablespoon of dried basil,
And 2 teaspoons of dried thyme.
and 2 teaspoons of dried thyme. I think for the most part, we've pre-portioned most, but the oregano, we gave you a lot more.
Yeah, there's a lot of oregano. I think it goes in almost everything that we're making. It is a classic Greek flavor and herb. But don't worry about the paprika. If you have some, you can add it. Again, this is an art. And so it's okay if something is extra or not.
This is
added.
all of it in.
What is it, the time?
2 teaspoons of dried
That's
thyme.
Okay.
just, I would measure it
Yep.
because
Okay.
that's half a tablespoon.
Yep.
So that's.
No need to measure. Those 2.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
2. I think
All right.
And we'll add a little bit of salt and pepper as well. And again, that's to your taste. If you are trying to keep it low salt, then you don't need to add any salt. If you like more salt, then add more.
So there was someone that says, could you go over
Oh.
the spices again? So
Sure.
we're gonna be looking at the chicken souvlakia. And that so we're making the marinade for the chicken right now. So we've added the 1 lemon juiced.
Mhm.
We didn't zest it. What do you guys think? Would you want to zest it?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, we have another one and we can.
If you want to zest it and add the lemon zest in there, it just adds even more lemony
Mm.
flavor. If you want to just juice it, that's fine too. I think it's really up to what you prefer. And we like things really lemony,
Yeah.
so.
So then we added the 1 tablespoon of dried oregano, 1 tablespoon dried basil,
Mhm.
the 2 teaspoons of dried thyme,
And then the
and
salt and pepper
the
we've done.
salt and pepper, the 1
And-
teaspoon of both salt and pepper.
And then the last one is the garlic is listed there. And so we don't eat garlic. But easy way to do it is, you just, if you want me to do
Yep.
one, I can just kind of show. I mean,
A great
just
way,
gonna
a great
mince up-
way to
Yeah.
peel and mince garlic is to actually smash it with the flat of your knife
yep.
and
And then
then
it
peel
just
up.
makes it a lot easier to peel it off. So I will do as quickly and clumsily as possible.
And
And
then,
we give you a few more cloves of garlic than you might need. So if you're a garlic lover, have at it.
Yep.
and you might want to trim off the ends of
Yep.
the clove and then just mince it up.
Yep. I apologize, piece came off.
Okay.
But yeah,
And Katie and George, would you kind of introduce the other dishes that we're gonna be making today? So we're gonna make the chicken souvlakia, so that will have that delicious tzatziki, but there's some other really fun ones that we're gonna do.
yeah,
Why don't you start chopping your chicken?
okay. I will chop chicken if you want to explain the other dishes.
So I'll let George do the messy work here of working on the chicken. So now you want to open up your chicken container or your
Or
tofu
tofu,
container
yep.
and get going on that bad boy. And as you chop into, I would say a nice 1 inch,
Mhm.
maybe 2 inch cubes, and then toss that right into your marinade. And if you want to trim off some of the fat,
That's what I
again, it
tend to
depends
do.
on how much fat you want in there.
Mhm.
And so great idea, Sarah. So some of the other things that we're making today, in addition to the chicken souvlakia, we're gonna make something called fassolia, which is a Greek vegetable dish that was totally new to me when I started dating and then eventually marrying my husband. And it's a really easy, it sounds fancy and it looks fancy, but it's super easy vegetable dish that uses green beans, potatoes, and tomatoes, and then more wonderful fragrant herbs. And then of course, some salt and pepper. And we will show you how to prep all those veggies, start it on the stove, and then you finish it in the oven, and it makes the whole kitchen smell incredible.
Mhm.
Another thing we're gonna make, Sarah mentioned the tzatziki sauce, sort of maybe more familiar to American audiences. It's a classic cucumber and dill sauce, and I've seen it made different ways. So again, it's an art. There's no really one right way to make tzatziki, so we'll just show you how
It's a very regional dip too, so some different regions will add other things.
Mm.
So that can be kind of a little bit different. So
So again, there's no right way or wrong way to do it. It's really gonna be to your taste, and what's available to you. And then another thing we'll make is a village salad. So horiatiki means village in Greek, correct?
Yep.
So the horiatiki salata or village salad is a nice rough chop on some nice fresh vegetables tossed with a dressing. It's a little different than what we might see in sort of a typical American, Greekified, Americanized Greek food in a restaurant. So a little bit different, but again, easy, tasty, and healthy. So those are some of the other things we're gonna work on today.
Sounds great. And George, where did you learn all these recipes from?
Well, the fassolia dish, the one with the green beans and the potatoes, that's one that my grandma made forever. So my parents owned a restaurant for the better part of 30 years. So they would make the Greek chicken dish, but they didn't make the fassolia dish. So that was one actually where when I was a kid, we'd sit at the countertop, we'd, snap the green beans and just into this giant vat of a bowl. And it just was kind of one of those memories of, kind of being young and everything. And I was saying to Sarah before we started on this, like both my grandmothers are still alive. So it still has a lot of resonance for me, knowing they're around and being able to do it. The village salad is something my mom used to make a lot when we were kids, and admittedly, like probably not my favorite thing, because I was like, I don't want, this quarter of a tomato, in one bite. So it was just something I think I kind of grew more fond of as the years kind of went. And then the tzatziki sauce, I mean, I don't think there are many Greeks that have never had it, and it's just one of those things that's everywhere. My parents made it at their restaurant. We would go to Greek Town as kids up in Chicago, and so like getting a gyro is kind of a fun thing. And so it's just one of those kind of, I don't know, everyone's had it at this point, right? It's probably not very foreign to most people.
And what was the restaurant that your family owned?
Yeah, it was up in Gurnee, Illinois. So up by like Six Flags and all that. And it was called the Avalon. It doesn't exist anymore. Sadly, the building actually came down years after they got rid of the restaurant. But yeah, they bought it from my grandfather and kind of converted it into this restaurant and had it forever. And then, kind of got to that retirement point.
Yeah.
As much as we love our parents, none of us wanted to take it over. So, but it was a great ton of great memories. My wife was able to go there before kind of it ended.
We were
So
able to go there and eat before they sold it, or they had no longer owned it, but the current owner before they sold it, and then the building came down.
Yeah.
So
Well,
So-
that's a nice history of like growing up cooking and
mhm. And most of my family's in that business. I have uncles who own a restaurant. I have a lot of extended family that's done restaurants over the years. So it's definitely something that we've always kind of had as part of our lives. So it's kind of nice. And that's where a lot of the cooking kind of comes from, albeit maybe a little messier than my wife would like, since
he uses every single pot and utensil that we own. I think like every time I think, how is this even possible?
how many dishes did you
How many-
make?
how many-
One.
How many things did you make? One.
Then why are there 4 pots?
Why is the whole kitchen filthy? But no, it's a lot of
as long
prep.
as it's good. As long-
Yeah.
So I was gonna say, it's a lot of prep. The chopping there's a lot of chopping and prep in Greek cooking, but then the cooking itself is relatively like low lift, and then the payoff is really worth it. So
Yeah.
you're getting your bicep workout here today with your chopping and your prep work.
Yeah.
And as you kind of, I don't know, how are folks doing with making their marinades and getting their chicken or tofu chopped up? How are we doing?
Yeah, there maybe you might have hands and chicken.
Yeah, that's true. If you have,
But
if you have chicken fingers, then just
Right.
don't worry about it.
Yeah. Chicken fingers.
Chicken
Good.
fingers,
Yeah,
literally.
I get it.
we
Get
see
it.
we see some busy hands
Good.
here. Alexia and Marianne, good job. Good job, everybody.
And don't copy my knife, cutting skills, because they are not great.
No, they're not great. at
Everyone's
all.
terrified that I'm gonna chop a finger off.
Uh-huh.
Somehow it hasn't happened yet.
And George did take that. George
I
did
trimmed,
remove
yeah.
some of the.
I trimmed some of the fat. Yep. And
Okay.
that's just kind of I tend to go that route. I mean, I know some people like to include it all, but Oh, thank you.
Feel free.
And as you are kind of getting to the end of your chopping and your prep, then you can drop your pieces right into your bowl with your marinade, and we'll give that a nice stir. Make sure everything is kind of coated, and then we will cover that. You can use a clean towel to cover it. You can use a piece of plastic wrap or aluminum foil, whatever you have to go ahead and, after you've given that a good stir.
And we have some saran wrap here. Oh yeah.
Great.
So saran wrap, ideal, or you know, whatever you want to cover it
Yeah,
with.
aluminum foil or-
Lid.
If your pot has a lid, whatever, we just want to cover that, and we will go ahead and set your bowl into the fridge and make sure I know the herbs once they get wet, they kind of stick a little bit. So I like to make sure things are tossed and coated, because then if you're thinking ahead about this chicken or your tofu hitting the hot oil in your pan, you want to make sure that the herbs are kind of distributed evenly over your protein. Thank you so much.
You're
So
welcome.
we'll do a nice cover here.
And then is this something that you have ever like prepped the meat, you know, a day before,
Sure.
kept in?
Yeah, definitely.
Great question. Just like a lot of meats, if you're grilling this summer or ever, just, do it the morning of, do it the night before. It's not gonna hurt it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Have
sure.
you done like beef or lamb or anything else?
I mean, you're not a big,
Come around.
I'll come back in the frame. I know Katie's not a big lamb fan, but
I'm learning.
yeah, but I mean, I enjoy it. We don't eat a ton of red meat in the house, but we've done it with like meat before. I mean, typically most Greek cooking is more chicken and fish based with some ground beef. Less like kind of whole cuts of beef, or it's not a lot of pork in Greek cooking typically. So it tends to skew more towards fish and chicken dishes with a little bit of red meat
Okay.
here and there. So
Great question. So if you want to wipe up your area, I guess.
Yeah, let's just make
if
sure
you're
people are
thinking about-
good.
take a moment. If you want to wipe up your area from the raw chicken juice,
We kind of just moved,
we're lucky. We just have like a place we can just take all of our dirty stuff that someone else is gonna deal with later for us. But
yeah, just make sure that all of your knives are clean. Maybe use a new cutting board if you have it.
yeah, wash your hands.
wash your hands. It seems silly to say that, but I have to remind myself, oh, right, raw meat hands. So as we sort of move on, take your time. If you're still finishing up your chicken, there's no rush.
And let
It's
us know where you're at.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next thing is going to be more prep. So
Next
we
thing is
won't
just
get
gonna
too
be
far
a lot
ahead.
more chopping,
Yeah.
so get ready to have some more choppy fun. The
Yeah.
next thing that we're gonna work on is the fassolia, the Greek green beans and potatoes. So if you wanna take a moment to start looking for those ingredients, you'll need your potatoes, you'll need your green beans, you'll need your crushed tomatoes, you'll need another lemon, I believe. Nope, yep, you'll need your lemon. You'll need your cumin, you'll need your oregano and your olive oil, of course. You'll need your fresh herbs. And you should have a little bouillon or vegetable broth cube.
Yeah.
So actually, let's grab a little,
Yeah. Do you want to
grab a measuring cup.
know where the measuring cup is?
Have these said they're good on time.
There it is.
Great.
Doing okay.
So to get started, we're gonna preheat that oven first. So take a moment to preheat your oven to 350.
Okay, we're gonna preheat our
And
little-
my sous chef will do that for us. Thank you, Sarah. And the first thing that we want to do is constitute our broth with our bouillon cube. So you'll need to measure yourself out a cup of water.
Yeah, there you go. That's about a cup.
And then Sarah mentioned with these bouillon cubes, actually half of the cube to 1 cup of water. And that's exactly what we need. So we will only be using half, but if you want to go all in for extra fun flavor, feel free to use the entire cube, no problem. Again, no right or wrong way to do this, whatever sounds good to you. So I'm going to drop my 1/2 of my cube into my water, and I'm just gonna break that up a little bit with my spoon to let that start to dissolve a little bit. And then I'll set the rest of my cube aside here, maybe for another time. And so as your oven is preheating, you've set that to 350. We'll just chop this up with the tip of, you can use a knife, fork, spoon, whatever you've got, whatever you have. And hopefully this will start to dissolve a little bit. It'll take a minute for the water to really soak into and get it kind of reconstituting a little bit. So we'll let that set. And the thing is, even if it's not perfectly done, it'll finish dissolving once it hits the hot liquid and we put it in the oven. So don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. I promise.
You want to set that aside?
So we'll set that aside. Brilliant. And the fun part that George is going to show you how to do is chopping up the potatoes and the green beans. So we'll grab a fresh cutting board. I'm lazy. Okay, so I'm not gonna peel these potatoes. I'll also make a
Typically
point,
don't.
I'll make a point that all the nutrients are in the skin of the potato. So why would you peel that away? You wouldn't. If you want to give them a little scrub, you can. Again, I'm lazy. These probably are organic. I trust them. I'm not worried about washing the potatoes. So how big what's a good sort of chop here on the potato?
Yeah, I mean, I think typically you'll do like kind of like small cubes. So think like 1/2 inch to an inch
think
type of cubes.
not-
I'd say probably an inch
An inch
is about
good,
right.
not too small. And
Yeah.
I love my husband, but he likes to cut things really, really, really small. So I would say
Just double whatever I say is
just
what
whatever
she's
he
trying to-
says, make it bigger. But you definitely don't want to just do a rough chop. I mean, we want these potatoes to cook
Yeah.
through in the oven.
Yep.
So I would say, cut them in half, cut them in quarters, cut them again. These are a nice size. They're not too
There we
big.
go. Just really wanted to stick to.
Thank you. It makes sense if you want.
No
Sometimes
problem.
people put a towel underneath it if that
Oh,
Keep
sure.
it from
if
slipping.
it's doing too much.
Great
Yeah.
idea. Great idea. And you know what I should have mentioned? As you prep your potato, this is where you're gonna need your pot that has a lid that is oven safe.
Yep, because you'll start it on the stove top and then it'll eventually go in the oven.
So
So
if you want to grab your pot as you chop your veggies, you can toss them right in. And then if you need this underneath the cutting board.
oh, sure. I think I'm okay. Thank you.
So are there any folks that don't have a oven safe pot? Because we could probably, talk out what
Mhm.
to
Yeah,
do.
An
yeah.
alternative, definitely.
Yeah, my grandmother used to do it all on the stove top and she would just let it simmer for a long time. So you can do it that way. I have found that putting it in the oven just has it go a little quicker. And I don't know, I mean, I think the flavors melt pretty well either way.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
if
I
you're-
remember this. We did a very similar recipe, or we did the same recipe actually years ago, and it was just so good. And the lemon was really, really came through, and those herbs. Here's a whisk if you want.
Oh.
That might help with,
Yeah,
whisk has seen some days.
yeah, this whisk has lived a life. Good
I
for
thought it was
you.
like some special kind of
No,
whisk
this
that
whisk
like,
lived a life. And here's where I'll just pause since George is chopping and say this
Yeah.
whisk makes me think of our son, who the last time we cooked this class, I was very pregnant. And now my son is 3.5. So that's how long it's been. And being a really good toddler, he's like so good at it. He has a whisk that he likes to carry around.
mhm.
Oh my God.
And so we just let him because why not? And he has, so, one day it's a bluey stuffed animal, one day it's a whisk, one day it's a spatula, anything that gets him in the kitchen, right?
He's gonna be a cook.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, we've tricked him into eating feta cheese and
Mhm.
Greek yogurt, so.
That's
Alright.
pretty good.
So I finished my potatoes, but obviously if other people are still cutting, feel free to do that, but I'm gonna.
So Linda, you said no bundle of herbs. We do actually have our bundle of herbs on our.
Yep,
With our goodies, and so, in your mix was rosemary, oregano, thyme, and tarragon. We didn't have parsley this time, but that's another addition that you could add to your fresh herbs. We also have our
the
cumin,
Oh.
we have our crushed tomatoes.
First in the oil.
Oh,
We've
yeah.
got our
Yep,
lemon.
yep. Sorry, that's my
It's
mistake.
fine. I
Yep.
told you to do that. That was my fault. If I told you, if you put your vegetables in the pot, please take them back out. I apologize. That's my fault.
Yep, because we got a
We have to,
air, like
work-
aromatic.
we have to make the, I don't know the verb for this, but we have to use the oil and warm up the cumin to make it aromatic before we put in our veggies. So that's
Okay.
my fault. I apologize, everyone. So the next thing that we'll prep is the green beans.
Okay.
And you don't have to snap the ends by hands like
These
I
we
did.
already have missed it. These are.
Oh my God, that would be great if it did.
Done.
Yeah,
I
these
know.
are, these look,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I think
Oh.
these don't have ends.
Oh, that's so great.
Praise the Greek gods.
Yeah, it says washed and ready to use. Look at that.
Washed and ready to use. Thank you, Sarah.
Would you,
You know, you
cut them
can,
in half?
yeah, I was
or-
gonna say,
Okay.
like, I typically will cut them in half, and this might be my wife saying I cut everything too small. But
Yes.
I do think some of these are pretty long,
Yeah,
so.
cut them in half, definitely.
Get you some bowls.
You can either cut them in half or snap them in half.
Yeah.
And so what I will do is I'm gonna come to your right. And I'm gonna get some of these potatoes and get them out of the way. And what's gonna be really fun is as you prep, the next thing that we'll do when we're done with all of our chopping is we're gonna put our oil in the bottom of the pan. And we're gonna heat up the cumin
There's a lost soul.
and then that'll make it smell nice and yummy. And then we will be ready to add the veggies.
Yeah, just cutting them in half is, like anything else, gonna help it cook a little faster, which doesn't hurt.
Mhm.
One last little.
Sister.
Yes, we got.
I'll just do, yeah, even just, yeah, perfect.
There, or even this one. Sometimes we have.
Beautiful. Yeah, this is good. This is great. Thank you. So before we toss everything into the pot, we'll start by heating up our olive oil. So this time. It actually calls for 1/4 cup. Which is a lot, but it's gonna be also part of the sauce.
So yeah, we gave you all more olive oil. We gave you enough olive oil for all the recipes. So you'll just have to portion out your olive oil. You'll also have to portion out some of your oregano because we gave you more for all the recipes.
Yep, there is, I think it carries through almost every dish that we're making today.
So how high do we want this heat?
We want to turn it on high to get it to warm up. And then we're gonna actually go ahead and add the cumin and some more oregano to the oil. And let it, and cook that for 1 to 2 minutes, stirring with your wooden spoon. Or your spatula to just release some of the oils and some of the
Mhm.
scent. So there's gonna be more cumin here than what you need. Again, if you love cumin, go crazy. But cumin is a very powerful. And I love it. But this might be a less is more situation, because you don't want to overdo the cumin. So we've asked for 1 teaspoon of the cumin, and then we also see here, we're gonna use a tablespoon of dried oregano. Now that is a lot of oregano,
But it's also a big dish.
but it is a very big dish. So if you want to do half of that, see how you like it, fine. Again, experimenting is your friend. I'm just looking for another measuring spoon. And there she is. All right. So do you want to be watching that?
Yeah, it's starting to.
So I can hear my oil popping just a little bit. So I am going to, this is a half a tablespoon. I
Oh,
need a
sorry.
teaspoon. Remember.
Oh, here, I can get it. Yep, no worries.
Ooh, fun.
We're gonna find one.
Yay.
There it is, teaspoon. Look at that.
And then will you remind people about the oven if they didn't?
Sure, if you
Yeah.
haven't preheated your oven to 350, go ahead and do that now. I'm gonna measure out 1 teaspoon, and this actually looks like it's basically right there. If you wanna just dump your whole bag in, you're probably fine. I just love to make sure, because once you add it, you can't take it back out. So as I sprinkle in the cumin, it is bubbling up a little bit. So I'm going to turn the heat down a little bit and give it a little stir. Then I'm also going to add in my oregano, and you just want to stir and really watch because you don't want the herb and spice to burn. So I'm going to go in with my oregano. A tablespoon is the same as 3 teaspoons, I think. So if you want to use the same spoon, then go
Yeah,
crazy.
and I believe some people, if you want to use garlic, this is an opportunity to put it in there as well.
Yep.
And kind of soften garlic. So you could do that also,
But you don't have to.
but you don't have to.
This dish has a ton of flavor going for it anyway without the garlic. So want to make sure it's high enough that it's kind of cooking and sort of give that a couple of minutes. You can set a timer if you want to, or eyeball it, which is technical.
I just don't want it to start browning. right?
Yeah, you don't
Right.
want it to brown. You're just kind of opening it up, so to speak,
Yeah.
just to get the,
And once we let the oil
Ours tend to
warm,
get hotter than most.
Okay.
once
Yeah.
we get this nice and warm and hot,
Fine.
we'll
We'll
be
see.
adding the we're gonna add the can of tomatoes next. So you can go ahead while this cooks for just a little bit longer, couple 30, 45 more seconds. Go ahead and open up your tomatoes. Check on your stalk. Again, if it's still kind of lumpy like mine is, that's totally fine. It'll dissolve once it hits the liquid.
Mary had a question. Did you put fresh herbs in? Going kind of fast.
Oh, sorry. No, they were all dry herbs that went into the pan. And it's gonna be the fresh herbs will go in only when we're going into the oven.
So right
Yeah.
now, we just did the cumin.
Just
And we
the
just did the
cumin and
oregano.
dried
Yep.
oregano. And put that in the pan. And then the fresh herbs will go in on top when all of this, after it cooks on the stove, heads into the oven. Oop. That's always a sign of too hot.
Put it down.
I did turn it down.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Here.
The tomatoes are going in.
The temperature will drop a little as you add ingredients into the pan, and it'll warm back up as you go. So don't worry about that. If, it'll start to bubble again.
Yep.
You'll add your can. You might have two, you either have one big can, or you have 2 small cans of tomatoes. Either way, add your crushed tomatoes.
Add it all. Yeah.
Yep. And then your vegetable broth is also gonna go in right now.
Yep. Yeah. As much as I reuse a spatula, I just end up using 4 pans, but I do use 1 spatula. Yeah.
Okay, and then what do we, so we
So-
lowered the heat just a little bit for the
Yeah.
oil, but should we
Yeah.
increase?
We
the
can
heat?
turn it
Right.
back up a little bit.
Yes,
Yep.
Perfect. We'll turn the heat up a little. We want to bring this to a boil eventually, and then we will turn it down to a simmer. So we'll crank the heat up, bring her up to a boil. Once it's good and boiling, we'll reduce it to a simmer, and we'll let this simmer on the stove for 15 or 20 minutes before we go in the oven. But before we're ready to do that, the next step is to, if you want to zest a little bit, to zest a lemon, you can use a box grater, or if you actually have a zester, use that. And so if you have a box grater, use the smallest hole, smallest side. And then I just like to set it down. You run the lemon down the side. And so then you're gonna see some nice little marks on your lemon. You don't want to push down too hard and get that white pith. It's bitter. It doesn't taste very good. You want to go gently on the exterior of, and here's where I will say there's no measurement here. Use as much or as little zest as you want. And then it should just come out the bottom. You can pick it up with your fingers or your spoon and drop that right in the pot. And then we'll slice the lemon in half, and we'll put the juice of the lemon right into the pot as well. We love lemon. So
Who doesn't?
George always says there's no such thing as too much lemon. And I would just casually suggest that that is not true, because I have had things that have had way too much lemon. So I'm just gonna put my box grater right over my pot and just let the zest fall out. You can do this however you want.
If you want this.
We have Buddha's hands that's drawn right now. Have you heard of that before?
Yes.
It's it looks like a lemon and an octopus.
Yes.
So we have those right now because citrus season is definitely upon us. So, and that's all rind. There's no like fruit juice inside. It
Okay.
would just be all pith.
Hmm.
But they
Interesting.
use it for zest.
Okay,
So
yum.
if you're ever trying to do
I've
something
seen
really
them.
fun.
I've seen them.
yeah.
I just never knew what I would do with. So, at this point, we'll just take a moment here.
Pause, yeah.
We'll just take a moment, okay? Your vegetables are chopped. That green bean looks funky. Your vegetables are chopped. You've got your lemon zest. You have your oregano, your cumin, your
Olive oil.
tomatoes, your olive oil are in your pot. Things should be coming back up to a simmer now, possibly even getting to a boil as your heat has turned back up. The next thing that we're gonna do is juice this lemon. That's a lot of lemon, okay? So if you don't want to put the juice of an entire lemon in here, that is so up to you. But what I'm gonna do is just,
Yeah, one thing you can do is you can put half in now and then save the other half for after it's done cooking and kind of do it more to serve.
Mm.
And that has
You could
been one of the
stir-
ways where
serve it with a
my
wet jar.
preference
Yeah.
for more lemon can kind of still happen without,
If there is such a
without
thing
the
as too,
detriment
there
of-
is such a
of
thing
straining
as,
the
as just
marriage.
too much lemon. And so I'm just gonna get some of the seeds out. This was an incredibly seedy lemon. So I'm just gonna pull some of these seeds out of my lemon juice, and then I'm gonna pour my lemon juice right in that water. Or but rather, tomato sauce essentially is what we're making here. But nobody wants to eat a seed, so. All
And
right,
so is this the kind of boil that you're wanting?
yeah, that's looking good. I would
Yep.
give that a stir.
Yep.
Mm.
So here's where I would go ahead and we're gonna just pour in our lemon juice. Here's where you could also add a pinch of salt and a pinch of pepper. Flavoring each layer of your dish as you go. Makes the end result yummy, yummy, yummy. So as you add a few more spices, go ahead and give that another stir as well. Now we're getting things up to bubble again, so we'll pause. Does anyone have any questions? The next thing that we're gonna do is put the prepped vegetables right into the pot.
You can probably put ours in.
Do it.
I'm gonna do it a little at a time because I don't trust myself to put this entire bowl over. So there's no reason other than my own mistrust, so.
And Katie, you were saying that you craved this recipe all through your
I
pregnancy.
did, it was a funny thing. When I was pregnant, I wanted this and I would just eat a huge bowl of it, which I feel like there are worse things to eat when you're pregnant. But the kicker for me was I also wanted to put a bunch of feta cheese on top. So that was my little
Which is
extra.
totally acceptable, by the
Yeah,
way.
well, of course you think it's acceptable.
Well, that's how I grew up eating it as a kid, was we would crumble feta on the top after it's all done cooking,
Now,
so.
so George has added the potatoes and the green beans and given that a nice little stir. We're gonna bring this back up to a boil.
Yep,
So that means you might need to turn your heat back up.
yep.
Things should be smelling pretty good
They are.
and looks like Christmas.
Smells like our house.
So we're gonna bring this up to a boil and then we will reduce it and let it simmer for about 15 or 20 minutes. So while that's cooking on your stovetop, we'll move on to the cucumber dip, but we're not gonna do that quite yet. We're gonna take a minute, gather ourselves.
Someone had a question about the brand bouillon, and I just want to let you know that we're using the garden veggie. So that's just in our aisle 3. So it comes in a pack of 6 bouillon cubes.
Actually, I'm gonna keep that.
That's the little veggie broth. We also use chicken broth. That was also on the LP as an option.
And veggie broth's nice if you're staying away from meat, right? So really just broth.
Yeah.
Or water if you don't have broth. That's also fine. So take a moment here. If you want to tidy your space for a second, give your veggies a nice little stir here. We're gonna keep half an eye on them. And then we're gonna move to making our cucumber dip, which after we prep that, we're gonna put right in the fridge. So we're gonna leave the lid off of the pot right now. Because we want some of that water to evaporate. We want our sauce to thicken a little bit. So the steam escaping is gonna help that water evaporate, but we are gonna put a lid on the pot when we put it in the oven. Now, if you don't have a lid, you can just use a piece of aluminum foil. And as Sarah said, if you can't put your pot in the oven, that's also okay. We'll reduce it to a simmer. We're just gonna you can let this simmer on the stove for as long as you want. It's basically done. I mean, the potatoes aren't cooked, but once it's cooked, you know, for a good hour, whether that's oven, stove to oven, or just stove, you can let this simmer for as long as you want. And actually ours is coming back up to a boil. So we're gonna give it a stir and then turn the heat down a little bit.
And then Lori had another question about the bundle of herbs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Went in,
Sure.
not yet.
Not yet. It's gonna go in after that 15 to 20 minutes. So when we put the lid on it is when it's gonna go in.
Yeah.
So that way it kind of traps the fragrance in there as it kind of continues to cook.
Keep your fresh herbs available, but we don't need them yet.
Yeah, they're on standby.
They're on standby. Great question. Thank you. All right.
So I will turn this down a little bit. Maybe.
So they want like a slow simmer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great question. So
More cutting boards.
no chopping. No, that's a lie.
There is shopping.
There's some chopping. You're gonna love it. All right. The next thing we're gonna work on is the cucumber dip, the tzatziki. So grab yourself a nice little fun bowl. For this one, you will need your Greek yogurts. You're gonna need your cucumber, garlic if you want to use it, your dill that's been pre-measured for you, a little salt, little pepper, your red wine vinegar, a knife to chop, obviously, your box grater. So go ahead, take a moment,
Yeah.
find your things.
And cutting cucumber in our house is always fun because our dog, we have a mini dachshund,
Oh,
loves
they love
cucumber
cucumber.
like nobody's business. So once he hears that cut,
When he sees the
Game's up.
cutting board come out, he knows. And also the dog loves Greek yogurt.
Yeah,
So
he
he
does.
thinks a treat for him is like we get a little dish, put a little Greek yogurt in it, put a couple little slices of cucumber in it and give it to him. You should see this dog.
Oh.
He is the happiest little guy in the world. So we have Greekified both of our fur baby and our
Yeah.
fur baby and our human baby.
Charlie Brown is Greek.
Yeah.
Yeah, Charlie Brown.
Our dachshund is Charlie Brown. So to start with your cucumber, don't peel it. Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. Unless you just really don't like cucumber peel, but yeah, don't peel it. You don't need to peel it. It says to peel it. You don't need to peel
You
it.
don't have to.
You're gonna grate it on the box grater.
I'd say
right?
it's optional.
I'd say it's optional, and I am all about reducing work and
Right.
stress in my life. So don't worry about that. But here's actually where you need that clean towel.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, there's actually one over
Yep.
there.
Oh, there it is.
Beautiful. This is a trick I learned from you, so I'm gonna let you
Oh.
talk
okay.
about that.
Me, I get to talk about
Yeah.
it? Okay.
I guess the first thing I would do is cut an end off of your
Yep.
cucumber. So it's nice and flat.
Oh, there's a one comment, Jamie said, LOL, my dachshund is at my feet waiting for something.
Yes, well, that's something.
Try
with a
Greek,
cucumber.
try Greek yogurt
the
or
cucumber.
cucumber. Yeah.
Try cucumber and some Greek yogurt and see how they like it. I love, yay. Go dachshunds, not for the faint of heart.
So you want to lay the towel out on, you can put it on your cutting board or even just on the table or wherever you're prepping.
And then for your box grater, use the big holes, not the teeny tiny ones. That's not gonna work out.
Yep.
Not the cheese side. That's not gonna work out. Use the big holes, flat on the.
Yep.
Flat on, and then you're just gonna grate it right
Yep.
onto that towel.
It's gonna grate.
Go nuts.
Yep. Yeah, when my parents had their restaurant, we did a lot of this. So this is very nostalgic. I don't know if it's in a good way or not for me, but we used to make all our tzatziki in house. So we would be grading just tons of these. I mean, we would sell probably somewhere between 5,000 to 7,000 euros a week. And so then
It's a Greek restaurant.
it was a 24-hour diner. And there was like gyros and we had like Greek omelets and other things that had tzatziki associated with it. So we made a lot of it. So big yogurt orders, big cucumber orders. I think we're about good there. I don't think I need to go much further than that. I'm afraid to lose the tip of a finger.
My favorite, I grew up in Chicago, and so my favorite restaurant is a Greek diner in Evanston called Crossroads.
Okay.
That's one of my go-tos.
Yeah, I don't know why Greeks name the restaurants the way they do.
He always says this, Avalon.
Yeah, Avalon.
Roads.
Avalon was the name of my
It's just sort
parents'
of-
restaurant.
Yeah,
Okay.
they named it Rhodes like RHODE.
Oh, like the
That's
island.
Greek.
Yes,
It's
yes.
a pun, I guess.
Yes, that's clever. See?
That's fun. Okay. So before we do anything else, we're just gonna sprinkle your grated cucumber with a little bit of salt and a little
Yep.
bit of pepper. So if you can use your clean hands, obviously, or you can just take a pinch and just kind of give it a little sprinkle. The salt's gonna draw the moisture,
Help draw.
help
yeah.
draw some moisture out of there. And we're just gonna let this rest and then we're gonna squeeze it out in about 10 minutes. So you can set your cucumber aside, just take that clean towel and just set it aside.
Come with me, my friend. Do you want me to put it in the bowl here? Or?
No,
Okay.
thank you.
I will.
And then I think our
Oh, yeah.
tomatoes are going a little
Yep.
strong, so
Oh, yeah.
over it.
And
just
this
a
is
little.
perfect timing to check in
Yeah.
and give it a stir
Yep.
and turn it down if you need to. And the liquid should be reducing.
Yep.
Thank you, Sarah. That looks wonderful. We have about 10 more minutes for the veggies to simmer. And in that 10 minutes, our cucumber is gonna sweat. So while we do that, we will finish working on our yogurt dip.
Yeah, and if like the liquid reduces too much, you can always add a
Just add
little
some
bit
water.
more back in.
No
Yeah.
problem. No
Yeah.
problem.
Luckily, it's very George proof recipe where if you forget something, there's an easy
Nothing
fix.
cannot be fixed here.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
So as we work on our tzatziki, and we're gonna let our
Cucumber.
cucumber rest on that towel. I think what I would like to do.
Do you want to continue?
I'm just thinking, I think actually what we should do is we're gonna do some more chopping.
Okay.
Because while our cucumber sweats and while our veggies simmer, we're gonna prepare some more veggies and then we'll loop back. That's what makes this a lot of chopping, a lot of fun. So as far as your Greek yogurt is concerned, your red wine vinegar, we'll come back to those in just a few minutes.
But we do really want to draw that water out of the cucumber, so
Mm-hmm.
waiting a little longer doesn't.
So you don't want the tzatziki to be.
You don't want it to be
Too wet.
too runny.
If
Yeah.
it's watery, just give it a really good stir, it's fine, but just the less water is better.
Mhm.
So the last things that you will chop today, I promise, are yet more vegetables. So Mediterranean cuisine is known for being very vegetable forward,
Mm.
lean protein forward, nuts, seeds, olives, olive oil, low kind of what I would call like low moisture cheese,
Mhm.
like feta cheese. And
Yeah.
it's wonderful. And that's why I like it so much. And that's why I married you. So
That's not why.
what we'll work on now is the village salad, the
Yep.
horiatiki salata. So we're just gonna prep the veggies. And then when we're done prepping the veggies, we'll be able to loop back to our stovetop and we'll be able to loop back to our tzatziki. So
Yep.
George is gonna chop some
Yep.
more.
Yep. So luckily, a lot of this is like pretty rough chopping. It's not meant to be like really small or,
Diced.
like diced type of vegetables.
It's a rough chop, not a
Yeah,
dice.
it's meant to be something that's, pretty, large, fairly large pieces. So
You're gonna slice I would say George slices cucumber in half. and
it just is easier for me to
And then in
handle.
half again. So you're ending up with some half moons.
Yep.
And as you're chopping, you can just throw them right into whatever bowl you want to serve them in because we're
Yep.
gonna cover and refrigerate this when we're done.
Yep. There's luckily like you can't really mess this one up because you're just really going for some rough pieces here. It's meant to be kind of larger like that. That's kind of the point.
So for this salad, we're working on our cucumber. You'll also be working on your 3 plum tomatoes. So for those, you can cut the ends off, cut them in half, and then, into quarters, and then and that's probably too big, so maybe in half again, and we'll show you what that can look like. So you want some nice big pieces of tomato to go with your big pieces of cucumber, and this is gonna get coated in that lovely dressing, and that's what's gonna make it so tasty.
Oh, thank you.
Another thing that makes this salad tasty is the feta cheese, of course. Now, if you're not doing cheese, you don't need to use it. If cheese is not something that you like to cook with or eat, but if you are doing cheese, this is where we're gonna use our feta.
It's all very judgment, but those are like, maybe inch pieces there, kind of
It
wedges,
looks like he cut the tomato in half, long ways.
and then
in-
kind of
and in
thirds.
Half again, long ways, and then in thirds.
So like I said, it's not meant to be small little diced pieces. It's meant to be pretty straightforward. So I'm just kind of using a best judgment. But this is about right. So we'll go with it.
Looks good.
Yeah.
So fresh.
Now, as far as the olives are concerned,
One more.
Sarah said that we were lucky enough to get a nice mixture. So there are some Kalamata olives in here. Those are the long, dark purple olives. And then there are some nice green olives as well. Yummy, yummy, yummy. So as many olives as you want there. I think you guys got a really healthy amount of olives. So again, to your taste, you don't have to use all of them. The olive is a very strong flavor.
And I would also say, keep in mind how much you use because they are salty. So
They're very
like what you
salty.
may put in salt in your salad
Yeah.
could change slightly based on that.
And I would say, you can always add more later. So I would give them a good drain and then, start with 1/4 of a cup, see how you like that amount. 1/4 to a half a cup of olives is probably plenty of olives. And as far as the green pepper is concerned, I like to cut off the top.
Yep. Get as many of the seeds out there
and get
as,
the seeds out. So cut the top off. Then I don't know about you, I like to turn it over.
Yep.
Cut it in quarters.
and then just get any other ones out once you do that. Because then it's pretty easy to get to the rest, but hopefully by then most of them are gone. So
It is a lot of chopping. You guys are doing great.
Does your family have any preferences on types of olive oil that we like to get?
oh gosh, I feel like every Greek person seems to know someone who imports olive oil. It feels very like Godfather Mafia-y. If you've seen the first Godfather, they're big in olive oil. So they have like theirs. And my father, before he immigrated to the US, he lived on a farm. They grew olives, figs, all sorts of things. So they kind of had, relatives that were still out there after they immigrated. And so for them, it was like they had their little connection of
Yeah.
people.
Uh-huh.
So
Cause I know that, have you been to Grovestone?
yes.
So,
He had
Yeah, his
family
stuff's
that-
really good.
so we are lucky in our community that we,
Go ahead.
just keep
Yep.
chopping your,
Yep. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay.
so for the bell pepper,
Just gonna.
you can cut it into quarters, cut out the seeds, and then do strips if you like strips. Or if you wanna do a
Yeah.
rougher chop to kind of mirror the shape of the tomato, also an option.
Yep.
But yeah, we're really lucky in Champaign-Urbana that we have Grovestone because they're Greek and they get their olives from Greece. So
Mhm.
I trust their olive oil.
Mhm.
And they have lovely vinegar there as well.
Mhm.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, but my parents go to like a grocery store that's up in their area and they know the people. They grew up with, my father grew up with them. So it's like a whole, thing. That's why I say it's very mafia.
Mafia 8. So let's just pause here and check on our stovetop veggies and give
Yes.
them a little stir. Liquid is reducing
Sorry.
nicely. You
Yep.
can probably turn it down to a low simmer at this point. Oven should be preheated at this point. To wrap up this village salad, we
Beautiful, so colorful.
we want to add our dressing components
Yep.
here. I just add everything to the bowl and toss it.
Yep.
If you want to get a little dish and stir the dressing together and then pour it over the top. You can do that too, but
Some people like to do the dressing first on the bottom. And
we
mix it
just,
that
you
way.
know,
I think
there's
it's
no
6 to
right,
1.
there's no right or wrong way to do this. So you're just,
about the onion?
Oh, yes. So we typically don't cook with onion.
Okay.
So that's why I always seem to overlook
but
it.
if you want it, let's just wait a
Yes.
moment. So if you want to do your onion,
Yes.
awesome. Cut off the ends,
Yep.
cut off the ends. I'll just do it. I don't eat onion and garlic. Not to brag, but I have a very sensitive stomach. And that is just something I cannot eat. But to prep your onion, let's just do it. And then if you want to throw it in, do it. If you're like me and you think onions are garbage, then don't do it. Let's cut off the ends, set it on one of your flat ends. We're gonna cut. Oh, this is bad. I'm not doing a very good job. Cut her in half. Now we'll set it on the big flat half, quarter. Then I think it's just really, really easy to get the skin off. This is just the way I like to do it. Again, I am all about easy. And because we're doing a rough chop here, what's really awesome about this is you don't have to worry about mincing up onion
Nope.
Or crying.
or crying.
Yeah.
Luckily, I have on glasses.
Save that for
which
something else.
helps me a little bit, but once we get the skin off of this really beautiful red onion, what I would do, I would cut my quarters in half one more time, and then I would probably cut these halves into thirds. So very similar to the way we cut up our tomato. And the great thing about this is it's gonna kind of fall apart on its own in the salad anyway. So you're gonna get a nice little bite of onion. And you know, if this is too much onion for you,
You don't have to do the whole
use
one.
half
Yeah.
of the onion. That looks like a lot of onion. Half can go in, no onion can go in, or the whole onion can go in. So I would say use your best judgment as far as you feel about your onion.
Yeah, it's really just meant to be pieces and you should be able to see everything. It's not meant to be like little slivers of onion.
Yeah.
That's just not the point of this salad. Like you'll see other, like a traditional Greek salad. It'll have lettuce, it'll have smaller pieces of onion. It's just a different style.
Yeah,
This
so-
is just very,
Rustic, right?
yeah, very rustic.
That's
Yeah,
why
it's a good
called
way to put
the village salad.
It's the village salad,
rustic,
yeah.
It's organic, it's authentic. So we're just gonna hit your veg with a pinch of salt, hit your veg with a pinch of pepper. We're gonna toss all of this together at the end. I did go ahead and add some olives. I did about probably a half a cup. I did not chop them. Again, keep it easy.
Yeah.
Throw them in whole. Nothing like a nice big tart bite of olive.
I love it. Yeah.
So then we're also gonna add some oil and some vinegar. So we're sort of making a loose vinaigrette here. We didn't combine the ingredients. We're just doing it right in the bowl. So grab your red wine vinegar.
And you're not gonna use all of it.
Nope.
No,
Thank you, Sarah. We're gonna reserve some red wine vinegar also for our cucumber dip as well. So here,
It's a
you just need a tablespoon,
there's a tablespoon.
need a tablespoon of your red wine vinegar. And you know, here's the thing about this. I'm gonna just drizzle. Right? Vinegar has a very strong flavor, but at the end, once you've tossed it all, once it's melted in the fridge and you're getting ready to serve, if you feel like, oh, it's just not enough vinegar for me, you're gonna always add more vinegar,
Good.
right? Always add more if you want to.
But I would advise do it later.
Later.
Yeah.
Later.
Start small.
You know, you can always
Yeah.
add, you can't subtract. So as far as the oil is concerned, we're also going to, this says a quarter of a cup with 1 tablespoon reserved. And the reason we said that on your recipe is because traditionally,
Mhm.
you make your vinaigrette, you toss and you let marinate in fridge. Right before you serve, you just do like a nice little kiss, that 1 tablespoon of olive
And
oil.
that's when you add your feta and that's when you add a little bit of dried oregano to it as well. But it just kind of like livens it back up.
Again, that is sort of the fancy version, but we're gonna do a quarter of a cup. So grab your cup measure. I'm not doing a great job here. And in I've got a little bit left. I probably got about a tablespoon or 2 left in. And then we're just gonna drizzle that right over the top. And my timer just went off for our beans. So we are perfect timing here. Take a moment, no rush at all. We're gonna get a clean spoon and we're gonna give this a nice little stir. And then I would say just cut, thank you, Sarah, cover. We'll grab our saran wrap, a clean towel, a piece of aluminum foil, and we'll throw this right in the fridge. The salad is basically ready to go at the end before you serve. You can crumble up your feta cheese. So here's your feta. You have a nice little block of feta. And if you want to, you could do half of this into your village salad. Half of it could go on top of your green beans and potatoes. Right? But again, it's really up to you.
Ready for me to
So a
cut.
little saran wrap on top,
Oh, thank you.
and this will go in, oh,
Yes.
someone said, what about the dill?
Oh,
That is for the cucumber
that
dip.
should be
Great
for,
question.
yep.
Great question. Unless it said it on here.
Nope, it didn't.
Yeah, we're
Yep,
good.
it'll be part of the,
Dill is next.
it will be part of the tzatziki sauce. That's
Great
very traditional
question.
as part
Great
of that.
question. So wrap up your veggies looking really yummy
Fresh.
and right into the fridge.
Our potatoes are looking so good.
So
Look like they probably need still a little more time, but
what do you think?
Yeah, I think
Or, I
that's
mean,
okay, ready for that.
I think
ready
this
for
is
the
ready
oven?
for the
Yeah.
oven. So is anyone not able to put their pot in the oven?
let us know.
And if they are, let us know. You can turn. So I've turned off the stove. So what we'll do,
Yeah, here we go. So next step is, now that we've turned the oven off,
or stove.
or stove, sorry, not oven. Don't turn off your oven. I misspoke. We're gonna put this just right on top. So it's just very simple. And the point is, like, it's not meant to just mix right in. You're gonna take it back off of it after it finishes cooking. It's really just about adding some fragrance and some more flavor to it, as opposed to it cooking within it and being a part of the final dish.
So just set your herb bundle right on top.
Yep.
And
What we made this up. This was sort of a happy accident.
Yeah,
We had these herbs, a neighbor gave them to us and I said, throw them in.
yeah.
And so this is our own version. The herbs are going to infuse the dish with fragrance and flavor. Your house is going to smell amazing. You're welcome. So the lid goes on the pot and the pot
Right.
goes right into the oven.
okay.
Now
We're
what's
gonna have to make some room in the oven to fit the pot. So if you did that.
Yep.
Take care of the room.
what's really awesome about the fassolia now, the hard work is done. All that chopping that you did, the simmering that you did, the measuring that you did is done. This can sit in the oven for 45 minutes to an hour and finish, and it's gonna be so amazing. The potatoes should be nicely cooked through. The green beans will be tender.
Yep.
So
And
there,
that's really what you're looking for at the end, is like, you want to be able to just pierce the potato very easily with a fork. And that's how you kind of know it's done, is that potato is what's going to take the longest.
Mm.
Oh,
That's just our timer.
Okay.
And
The-
how long do we want this to go
I would,
in?
45 minutes. I
Yeah,
would
give or
say
take.
30 to
yeah,
45.
it depends. Like 45 is a good safe number. Depending on how you cut your vegetables, right, is going to really be at the end of the day.
Mhm.
Because if you have half potatoes sitting in there, it's going to take a little longer.
And the thing is, we've tried to time out this menu today so that things all come out at the end and you can eat.
Mm.
So you can pull the fassolia out of the oven in 45 minutes and it's ready to go. The chicken's ready to go, the dip is ready to go, the salad's ready to go. If you're gonna eat, like say tonight, you can pull you can let this cook for 45 or 60 minutes,
Mhm.
pull it out, let it cool,
And
dish it out.
It
it's,
melts,
you
it
know,
melts really well.
it
It
tomorrow.
thickens up really well. It freezes
Yeah, you can
really
freeze it.
well. Like,
So we do that, we make a big pot, have it for dinner, have it again for lunch the next day,
Yeah.
freeze it, pull it out again the next week.
yeah,
So
my grandma was sending us home with giant Tupperwares full of it, just like, here, take it home. And, we pull out some at a time. And I mean, so it works really well as like a dish that not just works in the moment, but can be saved. And, it's like one of those dishes where the next time you try it tastes a little bit different because it's had more time to kind of settle.
Mhm.
So now the fun part, continuing the fun, I should say,
Yeah.
is we are going to loop back to our cucumber dip. And
Yes.
so we want to check on our cucumbers that have been sweating. So your towel is probably pretty wet. So what we like to do is just give this a good twist and squeeze over the sink to really draw out some moisture.
Yeah.
It's been resting for about 15, maybe even 20 minutes. So a lot of water there should be a lot of water should have come out. Oh, thank you, Sarah.
Yeah, so you can see a lot
Just kinda
drawn out.
Squeezing it out
Yep.
with your fingers.
Yeah, really, again, at the end of the day, it's about trying to draw that water out so you don't get a runny dip.
And again, if it's a little watery, that's
Yeah, it's
okay. Just
okay.
give it a good stir.
Yeah, we're not trying to, it's not a feat of strength. You're not trying to,
Yeah.
you know,
So
be
you
the best at it. That's not the goal here.
so you can see it's grated and it looks drier. It doesn't look too wet. I'm gonna grab a spoon and break that up a little bit.
And it's gone a little translucent.
Yeah.
Yep,
So that's the salt helping just
kind of break it.
break it down, macerate, I
Mhm.
think is the term for that, and then also drawing out that liquid. So it's awesome. So then next steps, we'll make sure we have yogurt ready. The dill is ready for her appearance. The rest of your red wine vinegar we will be using here as well. If you want to do garlic, we
Yep.
can talk about prepping garlic for this.
It'd be similar to the other one where, you know, you want to smash it down, you want to take off the ends, you want to take off the peel, and then, you know,
skin.
really just finely chop it because you don't want it to be large chunks. You want to mince it.
You do
you
want to
know.
mince it.
Yeah.
You know, we've made dip like this a lot of different ways. We've
Mhm.
done it in a food processor. We've done it grating the cucumber by hand, stirring everything by hand, prepping the cucumber, food processor, and then stirring everything by hand. I think doing it this way, I like doing it this way the best.
Yeah.
Hand grating, stirring it by hand, I think just keeps it
And you can kind of control the consistency
yeah,
and everything.
exactly right.
Mhm.
I like it a little chunkier. I like a little junk in the trunk of my cucumber dip.
Yeah.
So one thing you might notice if you're not familiar with Greek yogurt, it's really thick because it's been strained more than regular yogurt. That's what makes it so thick. Also, typically when you peel off that foil, you're gonna see some water on top.
That's
Greek
just
yogurt
that-
always separates.
yeah.
You can either drain that water out. Again, that just means you're putting less liquid in your dip, or you can stir reconstitute that water. It's really up to
Mhm.
you. I have no preference.
No,
So that is just something to notice that is just not uncommon about Greek yogurt.
Yep.
It tends to separate. And that's just
Mhm.
how that usually goes. So.
Thank you.
So you can go ahead and add your yogurt. Then we'll work on adding our herbs.
Have to remember, our dog's not here, so I'm not saving a little bit at the bottom.
Yeah. He likes to lick out the yogurt cups
Mhm.
for all of you with doggies at home.
Mhm. When I was a kid, not that I'm that old, but Greek yogurt was not popular like it is now. So we would get this just white container that had no label on it from like the international grocery store that we had in our town. And I was like, what is this weird tart yogurt? Because everyone else at school had Yoplait.
Yeah.
Or Dannon. Right.
Yoplait.
And so it just was very different. And I didn't understand. And I never would have thought in a million years as a child that people would be into this as like we grew up. Yeah.
Now it's like the thing.
It's the thing.
Our top seller.
It's so, for me, it's so weird. It's just a very much a shock.
Well, the 90s were a long time ago, honey.
Yeah.
So we've added the yogurt.
Yep. We're gonna
Next.
do the red wine vinegar
Perfect.
and we'll do 2 tablespoons.
2 tablespoons.
All right. So I'm gonna take this here.
That
One.
adds a little something, right? The
Yeah.
vinegar is gonna balance out
Yeah, it just,
the yogurt.
yep, the tartness of the yogurt and.
We're also gonna add, surprising no one, some more salt and pepper, just a
Yep.
little bit, a pinch of each.
Yep, thank you. And pepper, here we are.
Now, I'm noticing in the ingredients list, it doesn't list olive oil, but in your directions, it tells you to add some olive oil.
Luckily, we still have. some.
Don't panic. I would just add a tablespoon of olive oil. No problem. If you don't have any olive oil left, don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. Half a tablespoon to a tablespoon of olive oil. Fantastic. Now we get to our dill.
Yes. What was the dill?
2 teaspoons of dill.
have a teaspoon, I think.
This is the one dish we're not adding oregano to, I think.
Not with that attitude.
Not with that, but you know what? Like I've said, if you want to, do it. Who am I to judge? And you know what? Let's pause.
Yeah.
Let's pause. Let's give everyone a moment.
Yeah,
We've added a lot of things to the bowl. Let's
Yeah.
just take a minute and we'll give it a stir and see how it looks.
do you want me to do the rest? Yeah,
But yeah, sorry, add the dill and then let's just take a pause here for
Yeah.
everybody.
I will do some stirring.
Do a little stir. This would be an opportunity to do a taste test as well. And if you think, oh,
After you stir.
well, right. But you think, oh, you know what? Katie could use more vinegar, you know,
Mhm.
Katie wants more pepper. So take a moment, but it comes together so nicely because you took the time to grate your cucumber and you might have thought, why am I doing this? This is terrible, but you're going to thank yourself because it comes together so nicely and it tastes so good when you hand grate that cucumber.
Yeah.
I think we've done it. We've chopped it, we've grated it, we've food processed it. This is the best way.
Oh, yeah,
So get yourself a little taste.
ma'am.
Thank you so much.
This is the official taste tester, so.
Oh, yeah.
And it's gonna melt more again. Like this is one where it's good because you can make a bowl
I
like
think-
this, refrigerate, and always use more later.
And you know, if you think, oh, it's too vinegary, it's too this, it's too that.
Add a little more
You can
yogurt.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
add a little more yogurt if you have it to sort of smooth it out.
Or a little olive oil can help too.
Yep. Now, I want to pause because some of y'all might be wanting to do your garlic. So we'll take a moment.
Yep.
I don't want anyone to feel rushed. So if you do want to do your garlic, as George mentioned, smash it with the flat of your knife, cut off
On a
the
cutting
end-
board.
on a cutting board, not Katie's hand. Smash it, cut off the ends, peel off the skin, give it a nice little mince, stir that in there, and that garlic will infuse right into that cucumber and make it taste super, super yummy. The next step here, just like what we already have in the fridge, we'll let this rest until we're ready to serve. This is also something you could make the night before. It'll keep in the fridge.
Yep.
You know, we'll keep it for a few days.
Yeah.
We'll eat it, you know.
We use it with all sorts of stuff.
We-
Like veggie sticks we've done it with.
Yeah,
I
we'll do
mean,
like
just
a dip with
whatever.
a
Yeah.
veggie stick.
Mhm.
Use it, obviously today we'll serve it with our souvlaiki, our chicken or tofu. You can use it on the side with anything that you grill.
Yep,
You can eat it with warm pita cut up.
yep. Carrots, all sorts of veggies.
Yeah, it's a great veggie dip.
Yummy.
I know, it is yummy. Thank you so much. I
Oh,
just wanna
uh-oh.
make sure I put that in the right spot.
Perfect.
Perfect.
A couple of those down.
And if your fridge is getting a little crowded, don't worry. We're almost done. So we'll take a moment here.
Yeah, let's pause and
The
make sure there's
fassolia-
not
yeah,
anyone who's too far behind.
The
either.
fassolia is cooking in the oven.
We've got about 35 more minutes. We cut it in for 45. Do we want to do a little check-in on how
Yeah,
everyone's
let's pause. We have a lot of.
Do we need to
things-
do any cleanup of our area or
Yeah,
anything?
take a moment, you know, just take a moment. You know, tidy up your area. If you have any questions, we're happy to answer them.
Mhm.
Dip is in the fridge. Salad is in the fridge. Marinating chicken is in the fridge. Yummy, yummy, yummy.
Let us know if you having any questions, where you're at. Are you still mixing up your yogurt and your tzatziki? Nice to see all the friendly faces on here. So
We're-
sweet.
We did go fast and I apologize if it was too fast for y'all. We are nicely ahead of schedule though, so at this point.
Means you can eat sooner.
Take a moment to just let your veggies cook in the oven while everything marinates
Hydrate.
and melds. Yeah,
Yeah.
hydrate. Take a moment,
Bathroom break, whatever you
Yeah.
need to do.
and we'll loop back. We'll take like a good
Good minute here. And
Good.
kind of-
3 to 5 minute break, and then we can start talking about how to cook our chicken.
Good.
Yep.
Yeah, nothing, no comments yet, so. I think
Great.
everybody's doing okay.
That's
Good.
awesome.
Good, good.
Does anybody need
Hold
an
the chicken.
extra minute or so before we move on to our pita and our chicken? Has anybody made these recipes before? I'm always so curious.
I think what's nice about the fassolia is like, we'll sometimes just have it as a main dish, like it doesn't have to be a side dish. And I grew up having it both ways as a kid, so. You know, those times where we're just like, hey, we want something simple and we don't want meat tonight, and always do that with like a warmed pita and,
Oh,
you know, a little salad or something, and,
Feta.
yep, yeah, well,
Gotta have
and
that
the feta,
feta.
yeah.
I'm
And
a feta fan.
Yeah.
Always gotta have, especially I'm really excited for people to try this feta, because there's all different types of
mhm.
feta, in terms of just either a sheep or cow
Yeah.
or.
And I
You know.
And I will
goat
admit, like,
sometimes.
I prefer the block to the crumbled, because I feel like the crumbled either dries out really quick, or they have like some, you know, kind of like shredded cheese where they put that like anti-caking
Yeah.
stuff on it, and so it kind of changes the flavor and the texture.
So yeah, what's nice about getting it in the block is you can decide how much of it you want to use. And it's just like anything else. A solid big piece of one thing is gonna be fresher than a cut up
Yeah.
small pieces of anything, right?
Mhm.
Cake,
Mhm.
cheese,
Yep.
fruit, right? So doing it yourself is worth the extra step.
And if you don't use the whole thing, the thing that we'll typically do is put like a little like salt water, basically, like a little brine, and that kind of helps keep it moist and fresh longer. So if you had like a package like this, or obviously like there's bigger ones out there, but like you can just put it in like a small Pyrex or Tupperware or something, and just add a little water and salt, and it kind of helps keep it,
Keep
you want
that
it like
fresh.
submerged in there. And it's a way to keep it fresh longer.
Because yeah, sometimes mine's gone bad.
Yeah.
You know, so the salt water is a good idea.
It's a good way to kind of keep it. And my parents would have like this giant Tupperware with like 3 pounds of it just sitting in there. And so people would just come in and cut hunks off of it and eat it that way. So don't buy 3 pounds at a time.
Don't
but-
buy 3 pounds of anything at a time.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about the pita bread.
There was a couple comments.
Oh, sure.
Sam and Jake said, I've made the salad before, but not anything else. Excited about
good.
the fassolia because it was one of our fave takeout dishes for a while.
Nice.
And then Lori says, if you get to a Trader Joe's, they have excellent blocks of feta and brine.
Yes, the
Yes,
brine
and
is
that's
critical.
exactly what
Thanks,
you want.
Lori.
Yep.
If
I
you-
think
if-
Costco does
well,
one too.
Oh, and you want to buy a lot of feta, they have a huge tub.
Yeah, I
And
think it's like 2
and
pounds.
and it's in brine, and it's just 4 big blocks in the brine, and because it's in the brine, it'll just keep forever.
Yeah.
So you can just hunk off as much as you want.
Yep.
Trick your 3-year-old son into eating it,
Yeah,
and the rest is
he
history.
loves it now.
He will eat it.
Yeah,
So anything is possible.
yeah.
Alexia says, can you preserve the tzatziki sauce and how long?
I think it would keep in the fridge, you
Should
know,
be
for
like-
3 to 4 days.
Yeah.
Anything yogurt based, I mean, it's dairy, so it's not gonna keep forever in the fridge, but definitely, and if it starts.
And you can
to-
do smaller portions too, like we made obviously a
We made
larger
a big
portion.
batch. And the other thing I would mention is that Greek yogurt does tend to separate. So you might notice some water on top. So you can just either drain that off or just give it a good stir to reconstitute it, because the cucumbers it's a really wet vegetable. And then that Greek yogurt tends to
Separate. as well.
separate as well. So
Yeah.
just if there is a little water pooling on top after a day or two, don't be alarmed. But I just wanted to talk about the pita bread for a
Yeah.
minute.
Please.
So souvlakia is like a typical street food,
Mhm.
right? So you go up to a street vendor in Greece, I've been told,
Mhm.
and you order your skewer and they put it on a piece of pita and you walk along and eat it. So that's why it's served that way. Or if you've ever been to like a Greek fest or anything.
Mhm.
So we have some nice pitas here. There's 2 different ways we can prepare our pita. We can warm it up now, wrap it in foil to keep it warm for when we're ready to eat, or you can just warm it up very last thing, right when you're ready to eat. So I just wanted
But
to.
we can do it now just to show kind
We'll
of,
show you like what we would do.
Mhm.
And then later you can, again, if you're eating this for lunch today or for dinner tonight, you know, you don't need to heat your pita up unless you're actually gonna eat it.
Yeah.
I guess is what I was gonna say. So
Yeah.
we'll show you what we like to do.
Otherwise it gets hard.
Right, it'll
Yeah.
dry out and get
It'll dry
hard. Nobody wants that.
Because like what you're trying to accomplish by warming it is you're trying to make it a little more pliable for your chicken
And then you put
souvlakia
your
to
chicken
be
in it
in.
and you can,
Yeah, so like you're not trying to toast it
Yeah.
because you're just gonna make it hard and it becomes a cracker and that's
nobody
not
wants that.
edible unless you're making like a tostada.
Nobody wants that.
And that's not what we're doing. It's really
So-
just about like warming it enough where it's a little more willing to bend without breaking. So then that way, like if you're on the street and you have it wrapped up and that's really the goal there is to kind of keep it so that it will have a little give to it.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pretend like we're warming it
Okay.
up. So
fair
you would, we're gonna use this exact same pan to cook our chicken. So if you want to heat your pita breads up now and wrap them in some tin foil to keep them warm, use your chicken pan. And just, I think you have a nice package here of 6 loaves. Take out as many as you want. I'll take out 2. And we just turn it on low. And like George said, we're not toasting it. We're warming it up.
Yeah,
because
you're
you
kind of
don't-
aiming for like a
don't-
minute or 2 per side.
Yeah.
You're not trying to overdo
want
it. And you can
60
do it in a
feet.
toaster oven too and do like a, what is it, like to keep warm setting
You
or,
could do it in the microwave. You
Yeah.
could take a clean towel, wrap your loaves in a clean towel, microwave it for 15 seconds, flip it over, microwave it for 15 seconds. That's super quick too.
the benefit of doing it the other 2 ways versus the microwave is the microwave will like get it kind of the condensation, it'll get a little wet.
Mhm.
So if you don't like that texture, like whereas this will stay dry, it'll warm up. Same with the toaster oven.
And then
So
you
it's just,
flip 'em,
and you just
flip 'em.
flip them, right? And then you do it that way because you're not trying to like, not trying to really get them toasted per se.
You wanna
You're
flip
not
'em?
trying to,
Just pretend to flip
fire
'em.
them. Yeah, she just flipped
Oh,
them.
beautiful. Love it.
Yeah. And you're not trying to like a tortilla. Some people will put it over a flame and kind of get that kind of
Mhm.
bubbly, texture to it. That's not really what you're doing here. So that's really the goal.
And so then, once you feel like they're warm enough, we would just grab your foil, make a little pouchy for them.
Yep.
And then they should stay nice and warm as you fold them over. And again, we've done this before, so they'll stay warm for, 10, 15.
Yeah, as long as
however
it takes to cook the chicken.
Or you could just do this at the end, again, it's
Yeah,
whatever
just
works,
depends how
whatever
you want
works
it.
for you. So if you're eating later today or tomorrow, I would say don't warm your pitas up right now. And then our chicken is ready to get ready, so we will uncover.
So how hot on the chicken in terms of heating the pan up?
What do you think?
Like medium high, I would say
Mm-hmm.
is probably a good place to start.
Just turn the heat up a little bit.
Mhm. But you're not trying, I mean, they're not huge pieces.
Mhm.
So, but you also don't want to burn them on the outside without cooking them on the inside.
We say in our
So-
recipe to go to medium.
Yeah,
Because again, you want to
Yeah.
heat the oil up a little, we want to heat the pan up a little bit, put the oil in the pan, let that warm up a little bit too. And you don't want anything to splatter really when
Right.
you throw the chicken in.
I might
So,
too warm, so. I'm gonna be careful because I have not used this very much, so.
no, it's definitely different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's- And it does tend to heat up ours because we have induction, tends to
Right.
heat up faster.
Very
And then
quick,
it
yeah.
can get a little bit more sluggish once cold goes in. So
Yeah,
we'll just.
And that's okay.
Everybody.
We'll make that work.
So while the pan is heating, this is where we're gonna come back with a little more olive oil. So we're gonna add a couple of tablespoons, drizzle it in carefully. You might notice, you might hear it bubbling or sizzling just a little bit. So we'll do that, make sure it spreads evenly over the bottom of the pan. Now, for this.
Yep.
Maybe tongs.
Yeah, those are a big spoon.
Tongs is good.
Yeah. I think there was a set right here.
Oh, yes, yeah.
There it is.
So some tongs.
Yep,
And then,
'cause I'd like to not burn myself if at all possible.
one thing you might wanna do is give it a good stir.
Yeah, give it like one last
Sort of
stir.
stir it a little bit and just kind of make sure. Cause
Everything's
the
coated.
liquid is probably settled to the bottom, right? So,
And if there is liquid, do you want them to pour it into the?
You
pan?
don't need to per se.
as you transfer the chicken with the tongs, just leave the liquid in the bottom. Great question.
Yeah.
And you want to, oh yeah, so, and if you feel like it's too hot and the oil's popping, turn the heat down a little bit. You can always turn it back up. So instead of breading the chicken onto skewers and grilling it on a grill like they would do on the street
Or in the
in the
summer.
summer, we're just doing kind of a deconstructed version to keep it easy for everyone. So your marinated chicken will go right in.
You could use the same marinade. You probably leave the pieces a little bigger if you do it on a skewer and you do it like on a grill or something. But I think this kind of works well for what we're trying to accomplish here.
You can saw the basil.
Yeah.
And oregano.
Wonderful, isn't it?
Mhm.
So then, because we cut these pieces smaller, they're gonna cook up pretty quickly.
Yep.
Which is why you don't want to have the heat too high. Why we're gonna do it over medium, so we'll let it go. We'll let it cook a little bit, and then as you see the chicken start to cook, we'll want to turn or stir so that
It'll happen pretty
it will
fast.
happen fast.
So we're not going to do too much multitasking during this. And you're not intending to like keep the liquid that's in there. It's really just about cooking the chicken.
And this is kind of the last step, is cooking that chicken, you know,
Mhm.
and then you have your warm pitas ready to go. You're ready to plate some salad, some dip,
Mhm.
pull the fassolia out of the oven, give it a stir, plate some of that, and then ready to eat.
We'll do a couple.
Sure.
Do some demo
Sample.
plating. Yeah, do some demo plating.
I never worked at any fancy restaurants, so don't expect any like bear style
Yeah.
Yeah.
plating skills.
You'll be great.
Yeah.
No
We
pressure.
were more, 2 a.m. omelet type restaurant. So it's a little different plating system.
Pops and drunks.
Yeah, that's right. When the bars are closed, we were open.
So how late? You said 24 hours?
We were 24 hours. Yeah, and we only closed Christmas Day.
My
So,
goodness.
and we would spend a good chunk of Christmas Day there cleaning and
Yeah.
getting stuff ready. So it was very much like a family business
Mm-hmm.
in that sense. I worked there until they sold it. My brother did too. My sister worked there for a while. Both my parents, uncles. Yeah.
That's a like. Great.
My parents met there. That's how they met and, dated and all that stuff. So there was a lot of,
Memory.
yeah, because it was her father who owned it before. So
Okay. And so were both sides of your family Greek or?
both sides are Greek. Yeah. So my dad grew up in Greece. He immigrated 14, 15 years old. My mom was born in the US in Chicago land area. And then she spent part of her childhood over there. But both her parents are from Greece and
What part of Greece? Like if I've
Yeah.
never gone.
Yeah.
What places would you recommend going?
so both my parents are from the Peloponnese part of Greece. So that kind of like long tail, that's like that southern Greece. So my dad's from a village in the Sparta province. And then my mom is from an area called Tripoli, which her parents were from nearby villages, and so it's just kind of a place we would go as kids, and that family out there. We did some island stuff and all that when we went as kids. So
You mentioned like some of the tzatziki changes
yeah.
per region. So
Mhm.
how would maybe it change?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it would be based on like what was, yep, I'm about to do a stir. Sometimes it was based on what was like locally available. So some of the same components remained, like the cucumber and the dill and the yogurt, but then some would add other things to it, like different herbs or, I've seen ones that have added like, small sliced tomato to it or other things like that. So yeah, it's one of those things where, it's just one of those like dishes where depending on the region, you might get a slight variation on kind of what is being served. So, and I think other cultures probably have something similar where, hey, it kind of just has that slight change.
We do a lot of Indian classes with
Sure.
her, and they have raita, which is like
Mm.
yogurt, and they put, grated onion or.
Yeah,
sometimes
onion is one that goes
grated
in.
different. spices in there.
Mhm.
It's looking good.
Yeah.
And it's getting a bit juicy.
Yeah. That's the nice thing about the
Maybe
liquid being there. Yeah.
Turn the heat down just a little
Yeah.
because it's really boiling and
Yeah.
you want to kind of,
Yeah.
and it is liquid, it is very liquidious and that's okay. And I would just say when you're ready to serve,
Yeah.
maybe use a slotted spoon or your
Yeah.
tongs. So then you're not drenching your pita bread
Mhm.
in the sweet, delicious cooking liquid.
Yeah.
That smells so wonderful.
Yeah.
I would just like to say, I have never been taken to Greece. And we've been married for 11 wonderful long years. So just saying,
It's next year.
Yeah.
Just
there you go.
saying.
Yeah.
Do you want to take a 4-year-old to Greece? Can you imagine flying over the big blue ocean?
Sarah, do you want to watch a 4-year-old for us? For
He'll help me cook like all the stories.
Yeah, there you go.
Ready
Uh-huh.
with his whisk.
Yeah.
That
Let's
kid
get a little
does
whisker.
not know how to handle the beach. I know
Yeah.
his mind would explode.
I bet.
so.
In the ocean.
Heck yeah. Does anyone have any questions? The chicken's
Yeah.
looking awesome. It's probably getting really close
Yeah,
to done.
it's
You
getting
really
really
want to
close.
make sure you don't see any pink. And I want to pause and say, I'm so sorry to our tofu people. The tofu should just be cooking up about the same way. Obviously you don't want it to fall apart or get too tough. You know, use your best judgment if you're familiar with cooking your tofu. With the chicken, you really want to make sure that that pink is gone. No raw chicken, no,
Yeah.
no,
Give it
no.
a stir and kind of see.
Yeah,
We'll
make sure you're getting all the pink out. I still see some pink on our
still a little bit.
pieces.
Yeah.
But again, we're doing it over medium because we don't want it to dry out and get too tough. But again, we also just really want to make sure that there's no raw chicken, please.
Yeah.
We don't want anyone to feel unwell after cooking with us today,
Ideally. Yeah.
ideally.
And again, depends on how thick or thin you cut it, how big your pieces are. So it's always a judgment thing. But if people are taking this class, they probably have excellent judgment.
Excellent judgment.
And let us know in the comments how many people are cooking with us for the first time, or if you've taken classes with us before, what classes you've done. We're also always interested in teaching other cuisines. So if there's
Yeah.
other ones you want to learn, let us know.
Do you do a follow-up survey to see? Is there a survey after so participants can share back, oh, I liked this, or they
Yeah.
went too fast, or they
We haven't been doing a survey, but we always recommend
Feedback.
welcome any feedback.
yeah, for sure.
So I can't know if I got 5 stars.
Yeah.
I know, we
Yeah.
we should bring it back.
Is it gonna be like an Uber driver where it's like, am I a 5-star?
Years ago, and it was always really sweet to get messages, and then we've all, adapted when we needed to.
Mhm.
Alexia says, our honeymoon was in Parga,
Oh, there you
and
go.
we went to Meteora,
Oh, yeah, Meteora, yeah.
Meteora.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Mhm.
And, I'm glad to have you guys back. You did rocking class. I remember you guys.
Aw, cute.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to mention again that I've never been to Greece. So I don't feel like that's on me.
I mean, it's a partnership, a marriage. So I feel like it's,
So when would be the perfect time to go this year?
When's a nice time
Well,
to go to Greece, though?
I would say it gets the busiest probably between May and the end of August.
Okay.
And you would think summer it's really hot, so maybe people wouldn't, but part of it's like
It's the beach, though.
it's the
so-
beach, European vacation.
Yeah.
August also has a lot of like religious ceremonies that happen during the first half of the month for a lot of Greek Orthodox Christians. And so
Right,
you'll
the
see a lot
Assumption,
of,
right? So
Mhm.
the Assumption of Mary is a really important Greek Orthodox church celebration.
Yeah,
That was new to me. I
yeah,
didn't know what
my
that
parents
was.
left today for Greece.
Actually, yeah.
They left today for Greece, my parents. Yeah, they're there for like a week and a half.
Yaya and Papu are in Greece right now, and I
Yeah.
casually mentioned to her, I've never been to Greece. But
I think we're
we're really closing in on the chicken.
I think we're kind of at that.
We're good?
Yeah.
We can turn her off.
And if I'm wrong and we all get sick,
No,
Yeah, it looks great.
it smells good too. Yeah, Europe, I would not go to Europe in August because that's when Europe is on vacation and they're
Yeah.
all traveling. And I think the beaches are just bonkers from what I've been told.
my
So-
parents have like going in like April, March, because like it's warmed up. And you can still go to the beach, but it's not so hot
Right.
where you have to like take a nap in the afternoon, which my dad loves to do anyway. So he's, yeah,
Love a
who
nap.
doesn't love a
I'm
nap?
napping today. I don't know about you. It's just a good gray January day in
Yeah.
Illinois for a nap.
Looks like the snow has stopped. Oh, we have a couple more. So Lori says, I was in the Korean class with Eka a couple months back.
Oh,
These
nice.
classes are great. I'm so glad, Lori. Stephanie said, love these classes, did Indian, Moroccan, and pizza classes.
Oh, wow.
Yum.
5 out of 5 stars for all co-op classes, including this one, Smiley Face.
That's good. She can come over and show us some of the recipes she's learned.
Sheila said, this is my first class here. It was awesome. Thank you
Great.
all. I'm so glad. And, you know, we do post, we don't do a lot of editing to our recorded videos, but we do post all of the ones that we have had, on our website. So you can kind of go to our recipe page, go to the
Nice.
cultural cuisines, and then we've embedded the YouTube video on the recipes. So you'll be able to kind of recreate them. But yeah, we'll be having more down the line. Okay, so chicken is done.
Chicken is done.
Chicken is done. So
Our
let me-
fassolia, I think we should be,
Let's check.
yeah, let's give it a check.
Let's check our fassolia and then
Yeah, do you have
let's,
something that won't cause my hand
Right.
to melt off? Awesome.
Absolutely,
Thank you.
absolutely. So let's check our fassolia.
Yep. And really it's about, you know, can you pierce the potatoes well with a fork? That's really the big check more than anything.
And like we mentioned, you know, that has so much to do with how big you cut
Yeah, it's all about, yep.
your oven. So if you feel like your potatoes are a little underdone, that's
Yeah, I
totally
think so.
okay. You know, they can just stay in the oven
all
for
right.
a little bit longer.
Thank you.
This is bubbling. You'll notice that your herb bundle has kind of shriveled and crispied up a little bit, so we're gonna discard that.
It happens
Something
to some of
popped up
us.
on the
And then, oh, that's okay, there's just a little pop up. And then make sure you use your oven mitt when taking off the
Yeah.
lid.
Yeah, use oven mitts,
Good
hot tabs
call.
for the.
Yes.
I've learned the hard way a couple too many times, and I'm like, oh.
It's not that hot.
Oh my gosh, it's like golden orange. And you're right about the sauce. The sauce has really gotten thick.
Stick a-
Knife test. Look at that.
Oh,
And then,
like butter.
Yeah,
and then you want to discard this. You
Okay.
do not want to eat this. It does not taste good.
Okay, so discard the.
Discard the herb bundle. Grab that little sprig of thyme there.
Oh, that's
So
stunning.
this looks like a dog's breakfast and it tastes so good. You are.
this
going-
is January wintry mixed
This
weather
is, yeah. this
type
is
food.
People to try
And
that.
as we mentioned with the fassolia, you could take a little bit of your feta and reserve that and crumble it
We
over.
want
the
to try
top.
to plate
Yeah, let's plate up. Let's just do a little plating.
and everyone can watch Sarah eat it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Maybe make you
I
a
would
plate,
love it.
Adam.
Sure.
All right. So I
Thank
just need
you.
to grab
Yeah.
yet more spoons.
I had wanted to tell George and Katie that, oh, we're kind of off screen here.
Sorry.
Is that I felt like such a stalker when I saw you guys after it's been like 4 years.
4
or
years,
so.
yeah, it's been a long
I saw them at the
time.
registers and I was like,
Kate,
George.
We're back.
Yeah.
We moved to Vermont for a year and then we
No.
moved home. So,
Yeah, so-
we were out in New England for a year. A lot of life changes in the last couple of years for us. And now
Yeah.
we're so happy to be back. So our son, yeah, so I've just plated a little bit of the horiatiki. So what I would do now is if we'll come back to the feta. We'll
Yeah.
come back to the feta. So go ahead and give yourself a nice little scoop of your fassolia, your warm pita. We'll grab a piece of her and we'll snuggle her right here. And then we're gonna top that with a little bit of this lovely chicken that George made.
And it was really juicy, but it kind of started to cook off the
Yeah.
cheese a little bit, which is great.
Yeah, great point. Yeah. So as much chicken as you like. I mean, I think we're meant to be serving up to 4 here, but do you?
Yeah, if one of your 4 is a child, then
There you
it's
go.
more like.
I'm
your-
not gonna,
Stunning.
And then do you want to show the
then you
dip
would,
too?
pick it up and just fold it like
Do you want
that.
me to-
Sure. So then with the dip, you can put the dip right on your chicken. You can put it next to your chicken. You can do it however you prefer. What do you prefer?
I like it on top and,
Do you
and,
want it on top?
Yes, please.
and I've seen people who will put like the village salad actually in the pita with it as a way to just add some veggies to it. Kind of think like a gyro has like tomatoes and onions typically. I've seen some people just put some of that salad on there. So it really just depends what you
It looks
like.
Lovely.
So
And it's so
don't-
colorful and bright, and everybody needs more veggies, so this is
Yes.
a good way to.
It is a veggie forward
Mhm.
cuisine,
Mhm.
but then you get little treats with your feta in there. So I'm just trying not to slice my hand open, and I'm gonna go ahead and open up our block of feta. Lovely, briny, salty feta. And the great thing about feta is, you know, it's super easy to crumble, so you can just take a piece and break it off as. And so what I do with the salad, to keep in sort of with, because these are big chunks, then you just do your nice big chunks of your feta. If that's too big for you,
And you can sprinkle a little oregano on
then
there
you
too.
can, you know, obviously make them a little smaller. But then you want to finish that with just a little pinch of your dried oregano, which again, very strong flavor, so less,
Little goes a
less
long
is
way.
more. You can always add, you can't subtract. And so to finish, you can also add a little bit of a feta crumble to your fassolia if you like. And I think at some point we had mentioned doing an olive oil drizzle.
Mm-hmm.
So with your fassolia, if you have any oil left, you can just take a tiny little drizzle.
Oh, man.
And you can do
Just a-
the same to the salad too.
You
If
can,
you,
and you can refresh your salad. You know, I gave it a good toss to kind of get that vinaigrette over the top of the veg. So,
Definitely, we all have some.
here,
pork,
why don't
so
I,
we
why don't I trade? I'll take the,
Okay, but you guys are welcome to have some pork bowls. I have been dying to have this fassolia. It's been
don't worry, I won't
years.
show you eating. I'll only show the plate. I promise.
excuse me.
Oh my gosh. So flavorful, so lemony. The oil is so great. I like that the tomatoes are a little thicker.
Sarah, what kind of olive oil did you put in everyone's kits today? Do you know?
It was a Greek olive oil.
Mm.
It's
And-
really nice. Yeah.
Good,
It
I'm
smells
glad.
really good.
Mhm.
And it was, it had gotten a little bit cooler, so there was a little bit more of, kind of like the olive bits on the bottom.
Okay.
Like, like
Yeah.
olive solids, but
Mhm.
once it warmed up in the classroom, it all was great. Okay, here we go.
Yum. Does anyone have any questions?
Mm.
We're just gonna sit here and let Sarah just enjoy her.
This is why I love my job.
Yeah.
It's so delicious, so fresh. The vinegar is not too strong. It's just perfect.
Oh, good. Yeah, you know, less is more with the vinegar, but we tend to like a lot of vinegar and a lot of lemon, so.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. So great. In my happy place.
Yay, yay,
You guys killed it. You did such a
Oh,
good job.
thank you.
yay.
Are you sure you don't want to try some?
Not right now, thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
Sally says, Opa.
Opa.
We won't break any of your plates.
Yeah, no
We
plate,
can, we can.
Yeah.
no plate
Yeah.
smashing, no
Yeah.
plate smashing.
Well,
Eco-friendly.
we hope to do more classes with the two of you now that
Yeah.
you're back in town, and
That'd be great.
I just want to thank you guys so much
Thank you.
for being here, and
Yeah.
everything turned out so delicious. I'm so excited for everybody to dig in. And let us know, everybody, what's your favorite dish so far? Have you tried them?
Yeah. And thanks everybody for
Yeah. thank you
signing
for
up
coming.
and doing this with us. It's great.
And supporting the co-op. Thank you.
Yeah.
We super appreciate
We
it.
love a co-op.
We do, and yeah, we had 21 households, and it's always just kind of magical to
Yay.
have everybody making the same recipes. and-
Converting everyone to Greek food, just
Yes,
a few at a time.
yeah, we
One
need that.
mouth at a time.
Yeah,
We need that.
exactly.
And thank you, everybody, for spending your Saturday afternoon with us. I hope you have a great lunch. Yeah, I hope you had some fun, and then keep your eyes peeled for more classes. We're brainstorming a couple more details for our February classes,
Nice.
but it's looking like, oh, we also have been doing art classes, so they've been selling out so fast. So keep your eyes peeled. We'll probably have some more classes posted next week. But one of the classes that we're working with is we're gonna have Julia Paniago, who's Brazilian. She's gonna be doing actually a fresh pasta class. So you'll be able to make your own, this will be an in-person class. You'll be able to make your own pasta, either roll it out. She even has like a cylinder that to make like penne. So she'll teach different ways of making pasta, and then with a couple delicious but simple pasta sauces. So that will be really fun and interactive. And then I believe we'll have Ann Swanson, which is, she's one of our local farmers and previous chef. She'll be back for probably doing a nice local meal in February. And then we'll be having one of our art classes is Joan Jack. She is a horticulture instructor at the high school, but she's also been a flower farmer and painter for a long time. So she's been making like homemade paper and homemade plant-based inks.
Cool.
So she's gonna be doing like a plant-based ink painting class here. So we've got some fun things coming up. And then again, we always welcome any advice, any recommendations on menu that you would like to cook up. And we'll brainstorm together. But thank you guys so much. This was great. This is my favorite. I was so excited to have them back, and welcome it back to everybody here. And later today, I'll be sending out the recording, and the next week, keep your eyes peeled for the upcoming classes for February. But
Yeah.
you guys did
Thanks,
such a good job.
Sarah.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thanks, George. It has been
Thank
great.
you.
It's been so great. Okay, you guys have a great rest of your weekend, and now you're stocked with some delicious food for your pantry. Oh, and everybody's like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys are the best. Okay, we'll see you later. Take care. Everyone says, so eager to eat this beautiful food. Oh, great, Marianne. Take care now.
Thank you.
Great to have you back.